Let's ride.
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
This morning, a Christmas Eve Arctic blast is pummeling the eastern U.S. Buffalo battered with a historic blizzard. Wind gusts exceeding 70 miles per hour, causing whiteout conditions.
There's cars about 35, 40 feet away. You can barely see them.
Knocking out power.
I am actually doing this briefing from home without power.
And prompting a travel ban throughout the area.
This is an epic statewide hazard. There's no other way to describe this.
The rapidly intensifying system known as a bomb cyclone turning deadly. Ohio's governor announcing 4 people died in weather-related accidents. At least 3 people killed in Kentucky.
The last second shopping is not worth it if it would cost you your life.
Lake effect snow leaving a trail of car crashes and traffic pileups. More than 1 million people lost power. Flash floods followed by frigid temperatures could spell more trouble today in New York. The storm bringing holiday travel to its knees. Ground stops keeping planes out of the air from Seattle to Charlotte, Milwaukee to Memphis. Seattle's ice storm prompting Alaska Airlines to cancel more than 500 flights. Across the country, nearly 6,000 cancellations and more than 10,000 delays.
I'm very sad because by the time I reach home, it's going to be nighttime and Christmas dinner is going to be over.
After 3 days of canceled flights and travel frustration, Sydney Kokenish joined strangers, rented a car, and drove through the night from Nashville to Indiana.
More than 1 million homes and businesses in the United States are without power as an intense winter storm sweeps across the country. Temperatures in some areas are predicted to drop to as low as minus 45 degrees Celsius. At least 12 people are known to have died. Bitterly cold temperatures, icy winds and blizzards have triggered road accidents, mass power cuts and thousands of flight cancellations. Tom Brada reports.
Once in a generation weather at the worst possible time. Ice, wind, rain and extreme cold are wreaking havoc in the build-up to Christmas. Trees have been ripped from the ground and power lines have been knocked out across the country.
It is very frustrating because we pay our electric bills to Encore and all day has been going in and out. I'm really glad that I have a fireplace because otherwise I'd be freezing right now.
Forecasters warn that in some places temperatures could drop to below minus 50 degrees Celsius. America's East Coast is facing another threat, flooding. In New York, rain and strong winds have pushed seawater to shore, leaving cars and homes underwater.
We've had ice, flooding, snow, freezing temperatures, and everything that Mother Nature could wallop at us this weekend.
Travel conditions are treacherous, and airports are struggling during one of the busiest times of the year. Thousands of flights have been cancelled. Trains are struggling too. America's passenger rail company Amtrak has suspended more than 20 routes. Experts say the winter weather could develop into a bomb cyclone, a powerful storm which forms so quickly that it resembles a bomb going off. Millions will now be hoping that the extreme cold won't disrupt their Christmas plans. Tom Brada, BBC News.
The deed is done.
Some 200 million Americans are feeling the icy grip of a massive winter storm that has been linked to at least 12 deaths ahead of the holiday weekend. More than 1.5 million people lost power and thousands of flights were cancelled on Friday. The vast storm extends more than 2,000 miles from Texas to Quebec. A bomb cyclone, when atmospheric pressure plummets, has brought blizzard conditions to the Great Lakes on the US-Canada border. In Canada, Ontario and Quebec were bearing the brunt of the Arctic blast, with power cut to hundreds of thousands. Much of the rest of the country, from British Columbia to Newfoundland, was under extreme cold and winter storm warnings. The U.S. National Weather Service said its Friday map depicts one of the greatest extents of winter weather warnings and advisories ever. Temperatures in Elk Park, Montana, dropped to 50 F, while the town of Hell, Michigan, has frozen over. It was 1 F in the snow-covered community on Friday night. Emily, a bartender at Smitty's Hell Saloon, told. "It's pretty cold here, but we're having a hell of a time." In South Dakota, snowed-in Native Americans burned clothes for warmth after running out of fuel, said tribal officials. Heavy snowfall was forecast in areas of Pennsylvania and Michigan. Buffalo, New York, was expecting at least 35 inches. More than 8 million people remained under blizzard warnings, said the new. Coastal flooding has been seen in New England, New York, and New Jersey. In the Pacific Northwest, some residents ice skated on frozen streets in Seattle and Portland. Even the usually milder southern states of Louisiana, Alabama, Florida and Georgia were.
This is how legends are born.